Breaking news, rapper Rich Homie Quan has reportedly died at the age of 34. TMZ reports the platinum-selling rapper passed away at his home in Atlanta today. No word on a cause of death. Rich Homie Quan found success with songs like Type of Way and Flex and worked with superstars like Young Thug, YG, and Gucci Mane. He is survived by his 4 sons.
Welcome back in here to Live Now from Fox. I'm your host, Christina Evans. We're continuing to follow more breaking news from around the country, and this story is coming out of Atlanta, Georgia. I want to pull up a tweet for you right now. We do know it has now been confirmed that Rich Homie Quan, the rapper, has passed away at the age of 34. Now, this is according to several family members and has now been confirmed by Fulton County as well. We do want to keep up with this story because we know that Rich Homie Quan, as this tweet said, provided so many folks with hits during the 2010s. You knew you were in for something special as soon as you heard his voice and his hook. Our hearts go out to his friends and family. Rest in power, Quan. Now, that was a statement that was released earlier today from BET. Also earlier today, I was able to speak to a journalist there in the Atlanta area who knew Rich Homie Quan and extensively covered him. Let's listen into those comments here on Live Now. A.R. Shaw, journalist and author of Trap History, the Atlanta culture, and the impact of trap music. A.R., thank you so much for being with us here this afternoon. Quite a shocking surprise, of course, but for those who don't know Rich Homie Quan and the impact that he's had on the music scene globally, can you sort of speak to that a bit and just get people caught up on what his life and legacy?
Yeah, definitely. So Rich Homie Quan, he came into prominence in Atlanta around 2012, 2013. And he came in prominence at a time when Atlanta was kind of going through a transition from the Outkast, T.I., Jeezy, Gucci Mane era. And it was a new group of artists that was coming up where there was Rich Homie Quan, Young Thug, Future. He was a part of this group that was really taking Atlanta's music scene to that next level. And we just saw his rise as an independent artist, 2012, 2013. And he became, a global sensation. And so someone like Rich Homie Quan, his loss is definitely impactful to the Atlanta industry.
We've seen Rich Homie Quan. His music, of course, was huge, like you said, in the Atlanta music scene, but also globally. He was marking and making his way up the Billboard charts in the early 2000s and the mid 2000s as well. He also was able to be nominated for an iHeartMedia Award, BET Awards as well. The impact, again, that he had on the music industry, he sort of changed the way, him and Young Thug, the way that music sounds. Can you sort of speak to that and what that kind of meant to other artists all across the country?
Yeah, so Rich Homie Quan, he came into prominence again at a time when Atlanta was going through a transition from a musical standpoint. And him, Young Thug, Future, they all had this melodic type of flow that they would use. And it was different from what was pretty much presented earlier in Atlanta music, where we had the crunk era, you had early forms of trap music, where Rich Homie Quan was more melodic. He was someone who, he wasn't a singer, but his songs were very rhythmic. And you can kind of, hear the melodies in his music. And so he was someone who kind of ushered in a new sound in Atlanta hip hop and pretty much hip hop nationwide from a global standpoint, because as we all know, the sounds from Atlanta pretty much influenced the world. And so Rich Homie Quan was one of the individuals who helped to influence not just the Atlanta sound, but hip hop overall.
Absolutely. And we're seeing rest in peace posts flow in from all over the country, other artists who respected him. And it's just going to be a tough hit for those in the music industry. And of course, anybody who enjoys the type of music that he made and played.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you have to understand is that a lot of people grew up on his music, and there's a whole generation that are adults now, millennials who grew up on Rich Homie Quan, and some Gen Zers who grew up listening to his music, and to see someone pass again, some of the reports are saying that it was an overdose, but to see another person, a young person, pass is going to definitely just have another. It's another sore eye, another black eye for the hip hop community.
Absolutely. And like you're just mentioning, another one, this isn't an uncommon occurrence, unfortunately, in hip hop. We've seen several artists pass in the last few years, whether it's due to gun violence or drug overdoses, which there's no current cause of death out there right now. But just thinking about that, how do you think that people are going to react to continuing to see young artists who are inspiring them pass away at such a young age?
Yeah, I mean, it's something that needs to be addressed. I mean, we're seeing young individuals pass. Just a few days ago, Fat Man Scoop, who was a major artist in the industry, he passed, and we're seeing that a lot of artists are passing at a young age due to either poor health, violence, or a drug overdose. And so it's something that, as a community in hip hop, it needs to be addressed. You know, why are young artists dying so young?
Okay, this is Saga TV family, and we back, y'all. And there you have it. And there it is, man. Say it ain't so, but it is official. That boy Rich Homie Quan is gone. From the reports that they're saying that it was an overdose. So now we gotta wait for the autopsy and all that stuff for the real report to come back, and if they'll even release that to the public. But then we'll get to see what was then in Rich Homie Quan's body. So at this moment, man, he is gone. It's messed up. It's sad to see another young dude gone at 34 years old, man. That's crazy. I was thinking about Pimp C. Pimp C was gone at 33. Like, I was thinking about, but then, not to get too deep into like the conspiracy theorists and stuff, but, then you have some of those things that you think about with multiple people ending up dead and at certain times, and and shout out to some of these guys on YouTube that's pointing some of these things out, especially like AK-47. I checked out his page and whatnot, and he onto some stuff. There's a few other people, that's on it, that's onto some stuff. But I don't know, man. I guess we just gotta stay tuned and see what's to come next after this. But I'm pretty sure everybody paying attention right now, and especially everybody's paying attention to the Young Thug trial. So this is Saga TV. We're going to tap back in, y'all, and we're going to see what's up.